Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of BAM GPG. I'll be your host, Ben.
And I'll be your co-host, Bryson.
And this episode here can be a little bit different than ones we've done. We're going to cover a little NBA talk here today. So, approaching the All-Star game this weekend, kind of that mini tournament they have. And then we'll take a look at, really a big trade, kind of a confusing trade, but certainly a big trade that happened at the deadline between the Lakers and Mavericks. And then we'll take a look, see where teams are sitting, heading kind of into the final stretch of the season here. So let's kick it off, Bryson. I'll let you kind of take this one away here. We'll talk about the new matchups with kind of the mini tournament of the All-Star game in the NBA now.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, it's going to be semifinals. So first it's going to be Kenny's Young Stars versus Chuck's Global Stars. And then the second semifinal is going to be Shaq's OGs versus Kenny's Rising Stars.
Candace's Rising Stars. Yep.
So the Rising Stars are like rookies or young players that are good.
Yeah, so it goes on to say here in this article that Candace's Rising Stars. So Team Candace, just to kind of quote this one here, be made up of the winning team from the Castrol Rising Stars 4-team mini tournament, which features the best NBA rookies, NBA sophomores, and G League talent. So the rosters for those teams were just recently drafted, essentially. So let's run through the rosters here real quick. Start with Shaq's OGs.
Yeah. My favorite because, you have LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, James Harden, and Jaylen Brown. Obviously, my favorite, I'm a Celtics fan, and you have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on there, so that's who I want to win the whole thing.
That's a pretty solid team when you have all those players.
Yeah.
So let's move on down the list here to Kenny's Young Stars.
Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. I do not think they're going to win the whole thing. I think they're too young,
It is certainly a younger group. Talented.
Too inexperienced.
Yeah, certainly. You look at the roster from Shaq's OGs, right? OGs for a reason. They certainly carry the experience and really the accolades. I mean, how many NBA champions do you see on that list there? You got LeBron James, multiple-time NBA champion. Steph Curry, multiple-time. Anthony Davis has one. Jason Tatum, NBA champion as of last year. Kevin Durant's got multiple. I don't think Lillard, Harden, Jaylen Brown certainly does with the Celtics from last season. So you have a team full of NBA champions, essentially, with Shaq's OGs. Kenny's Young Stars. I mean, you got the younger group. They're out to prove themselves, right? See what they got against the OGs, so to speak. So,
Yeah.
Chuck.
Chuck's Global Stars. Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, Pelissa Scram, whatever you say, Sikam, yeah. Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, and Trae Young.
Yeah, so this is interesting how they formed the rosters here.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
And can you go back up to Shaq's OGs?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Anthony Davis, he's hurt for the All-Star game. It's kind of an odd replacement. They put Kyrie Irving in for him.
Wow, so they replaced their big guy with a point guard. We'll see how that plays out for them. But I wanted to touch on these lists here. I kind of like the matchups, right? I like how they form the team. So you have the kind of the OG, the old guard from the of the NBA here, all on one team. You got the young stars on Kenny's team. Anthony Edwards, probably tops the list on that one. And then you got the global stars, right? So you got all your overseas players on a team. So this is
Chuck said they all speak different languages, so they're not gonna complain. But Shaq's OGs, they're not gonna want to talk to each other.
yeah. So this is interesting. I mean, you certainly got some stars, even on Chuck's team. Nikola Jokic, probably the best player, and he's a big, right?
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I mean they're the global stars certainly have the size in this competition. There's no doubt about that. And then the rising stars, right? So I mean, it even touched on some of the G League, a lot of the rookies and some of the G League players getting a chance to kind of go up against some of the big time guys, right? So that'll be interesting. Possibly making a name for themselves. This might be a show me what you have type of a tournament. So I certainly find this interesting. It's certainly more interesting than what it has been in the past, for sure.
It'd be funny if the Rising Stars win.
That would be interesting, right? Have Candace's Rising Stars, if they were able to knock off, the global stars, knock off the OGs of the NBA, right? So what makes this game a little bit different? How is it formatted, Bryson? That makes it a little bit different than what it was in the past.
Yeah, shot clock off.
Interesting.
12-minute quarters off. It's first to 40 points.
So no shot clock. There's no game clock.
Nope, nothing.
It's just first to 40. It's kind of reminds me of a pickup game, right? It reminds you of a street pickup game. So certainly brings a different aspect to it, and I think it'll be fun.
You could take 50 minutes to shoot the ball if you wanted to.
You could. You absolutely could with no shot clock and no game clock. So this will be interesting. And every team is so, just I'm looking at the list of teams here, and every team is just, it's so different, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting. So let's look at the matchups here. So looks like the first semifinal game, Kenny's Young Stars versus Chuck's Global Stars. What's your prediction for that game, Bryson?
I think Chuck's Global Stars will win.
You got Chuck's Global Stars. Okay, so let's move on down to the bottom half of the bracket here.
Shaq's
OGs versus Candace's Rising Stars.
Shaq's OGs.
So you got Shaq's OGs coming out victorious against the rookies, right? Mm-hmm. So Shaq's OGs in the finals against you went with Chuck's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Chuck's Global Stars versus Shaq's OGs. Kind of it almost has like an Olympic game feel to it, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Shaq's OGs.
Shaq's OGs. So it's the first to 40. So what's the score prediction for that finals?
32 to 40.
32 to 40. So yeah, and again, it feels like a Olympic game almost, with those two playing against each other, or possibly playing against each other in the final. So I'm excited for this.
Who's your pick to win the whole thing?
So my pick. So you got Kenny's Young Stars versus Chuck's Global Stars. That's a tough one for me, because you certainly have the size advantage, I think, on the Global Stars. How is that going to fare in a game like this, right? So you're not working against the clock. You have no shot clock. but you can also dump it into these big guys underneath too. So, you know what? I'm gonna go with the young stars in this game.
Really?
I think the speed of the young stars is gonna propel them to a victory in this game. So I'm gonna go with Kenny's young stars.
What do you think the score is gonna be?
I'm gonna go with 40-28 on that one.
Really?
That's my prediction. I probably completely wrong on it, but I'm going to go with the speed. I'm going to go with some of the younger guys on this one. And then the other side of the bracket, Shaq's OGs all day, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
The Rising Stars are not winning against Shaq's OGs.
No, I just don't see the rookies taking that dub. So I'm going to go with Shaq's OGs versus the young stars. And I'm with you. I got to go with Shaq's OGs. I think the OGs, the old guard's gonna take the dub in this one. Final score prediction: I got 40-32.
Same as me.
Same as you. That's who I got.
Except different teams.
Yep. So it should be fun. It'll be exciting to watch this weekend. So if you're wanting to check it out, you can go ahead and tune in. It's on TNT Sunday, February 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Different format, so it should be fun. Excited.
If you're in San Francisco, go to it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in the Bay Area, it'd be fun. I mean, you get to see all the NBA stars in one place. Certainly, it should be exciting, right? It's a different format. It's almost got that pickup game type of feel to it, and it's interesting how the teams are formed. So I'm excited to tune into it, to be honest with you. So absolutely. So let's transition away from that here, Bryson, and let's touch on that trade. So there's a big trade, kind of out of left field, right? No one saw this one coming.
Luka Doncic and not Kevin Durant. What's his name again?
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, AD. Anthony Davis. And you know what's weird to me? I'm pretty sure it's the Lakers. They gave up a first round 2029 pick.
They did. Yeah, a first round 2029 pick.
They could be giving up a middle schooler.
Yeah, that's kind of the joke going around the NBA world right now. It's to the point now where they're trading middle schoolers, right? So
potentially.
Yeah, potentially could be a middle schooler, right? The way the NBA is set up. You can't do that in other leagues, because I think the NFL, and I could be wrong, but I don't think you can trade draft picks further than 3 years out. I think 3 years is kind of the cap on it. So if you were in the NFL, you couldn't trade away a draft pick from 2029. You couldn't do it, right? So it's got to be 1 to 3 years in the NFL. So let's take a look at these two players. Let's start here with Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the big guy, 6'10", 253. Let's kind of see where his stats are for the year. Let me scroll down on him here. So he doesn't look like I got any stats for him. Yeah, he hasn't played yet.
He got hurt.
He did get hurt. I'm surprised this site doesn't show that. So let's go ahead and take a look at. Let me share this here. Lakers roster. Luka.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Luka's stats on the year. Yeah, he's 25 years old. So the guy's he's young, right? He's in the prime of his career. And the Lakers essentially stole him, if you ask me. So he's got 27.5 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, 7.7 rebounds. Or assists, excuse me.
Yeah. He hasn't played much, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, he hasn't played much with the Lakers, but you can kind of look. You want to kind of run through some of his points per game over the years here, kind of with Dallas. So we got some historical on him with Dallas here. So this year, that's what he's averaging this year total is 27.5. Last year, well, that's this year. So his one game with the Lakers, he had 14 points in his debut. And then last season, going to 2023, 33.9 points per game.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then the year prior to that, if you want to just run through a few of the years here real quick, Bryson. So he had 33 in 23, and the year prior to that, he had 32.4. So the guys, over the last previous two seasons, he's averaging over 30 points per game. He's 25 years old. There were some talks about, Dallas maybe being a little bit concerned about his conditioning, right? He's certainly not the most physically gifted player in the NBA by any means, and he's going to be coming up on a big contract, right? So, I'm still kind of perplexed on why they traded him away. He is one of those generational talents. He's that guy you build your franchise around. So, he's an LA Laker now, right? So
That's weird to think.
it is. It's crazy to me. Yeah, so on this season, his points are down a little bit, 27.5, but
He's had a couple injuries.
yeah, he's dealt with some injuries, but the guy, again, he's a generational player. I'll say it again, right? So let me pull up here. So I got Anthony Davis's stats here now. So let me pull up Anthony Davis just so we get a kind of perspective on the trade here. Let me pull it up. I believe it's this one right here. So Anthony Davis.
Yeah. 25.7 points per game.
12 rebounds.
Mhm.
And then he's averaging 3.4 assists per game. Again, he was the big on the Lakers. And, I think he was surprised by the trade. I think the whole NBA world was.
I don't know if he liked it or not.
No, I couldn't imagine because he's going from a scenario where he's playing with LeBron James to moving to Dallas, right? So looking at him, so let's just kind of go back a couple years on his stats here, right? So last year, averaged 24 points a game. Year prior, 25. Year prior, 23. So, it's nearly 10 points less per game than Luka. Right, and you're talking about a 25-year-old compared to a 31-year-old who's kind of on the, for a big guy in the NBA, he's on the back half of his career, right? So it's just wild to me that you would trade a generational talent, a guy 25 years old. So I just, even for a first-round pick, you're talking 4 years out from now, so it's just surprising to me, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the big trade. That was the big one at the deadline that happened. So let's go ahead. Where are we at with teams heading into the kind of the final stretch of the season here, Bryson?
I think doesn't the playoffs start April 19th, I think?
I believe so, yeah. So, we're coming down to the final stretch here.
Yeah. And I'm ready for it to start.
Yeah.
I really want my Celtics to pass the Cavs right now, though.
Yeah, so in the Eastern Conference, right now,
The
kind of the teams.
Cavs are at number 1 and Celtics are at number 2. The Knicks are at number 3 and the Pacers are at number 4 and Bucks number 5 and surprising one, Pistons at number 6.
Yep, and then you have your 4 play-in teams here in the East.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Chicago Bulls. We're in it, baby. We're in it.
Barely.
We are. You know, we're 9 games below 500, but we're right in there, right?
Yeah.
Just got to get in. That's the biggest thing. So, looking at this Eastern Conference, obviously Cleveland's having a tremendous season. They're sitting at 44-10. Boston's 5.5 games back from them right now. You know, playing stellar basketball again, right? Tatum, I don't know how the guy hasn't won an MVP yet, but Boston's sitting 5.5 games back. You know, certainly within reach. They have nearly 2 months, right, of basketball left to play. So certainly could flip-flop there at the top between 1 and 2. You know, I think Boston's had Cleveland's number this season too. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen them match up several times, and I think Boston, have they won all the matchups between the two?
All of them that I want. I think there was one more that the Cavs. I think there was one that the Cavs won and 2 that the Celtics won.
Yep. So should be fun playoff, right? We'll see if we'll see if the Bulls can hold on here for us. And Bryson and I actually went to a Bulls Celtics game earlier this year up in
Wasn't
Chicago.
it like 98 to 123?
Yeah, you guys beat us by 25, I think, and Tatum had a big game. You know, I think he was over 40 points in the game.
He dunked over a person in the game.
He did. Yeah, he's one heck of a player, and it still baffles me that he hasn't won an MVP yet. So let's go to the Western Conference, see what it looks like here. So Oklahoma City, fantastic,
First.
44-9.
First in the league. No, not in the league, in the Western Conference.
Yeah, actually, they are first in the league. Cleveland's 44-10, so that would put Oklahoma City, if you're looking at it league-wide, Oklahoma, you know, they're half a game up.
Yeah, but they haven't played the Cavs have played in one extra game.
Yep, the Cavs have played one extra game, so with that one extra loss in the column, that would give Oklahoma, I believe, just a half a game edge over the two. But so, another great season from Oklahoma, right? Memphis is on their tail, but you know they're sitting comfortably 8 games in front of them. So it certainly looks like Oklahoma is gonna kind of cruise to the finish line there with the number 1 seed in the West.
And then you have the Nuggets at 3, Lakers at 4, Rockets at 5, and Clippers at 6.
Yep. So looking at this West here, Bryson, with the trade of Luka to the Lakers, where do the Lakers stand with you at this point? You know, I know they're number 4, but when you add a talent like that, you know, they're certainly probably better than a number 4 seed right now, I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah. Not better than the Celtics, though.
No, and we may get one of those, you know, classic Lakers or Celtics NBA Finals.
That'd be fun.
That would be a fun one, and that would have some fireworks in it, right? And then, as you mentioned, you got Houston right behind LA, and then the Clippers in that final spot there at number 6, and then your 4 play-in games.
Yeah. Minnesota Timberwolves, Sacramento Kings, Dallas Mavericks, and Golden State Warriors, which I think at the time of this recording, the Warriors are playing a game.
Yeah, well, you know, Dallas is still very much alive. They're in playoff contention, which makes this trade even more kind of head scratching, right? you're in the heart of the playoffs right now. Granted, you're a playoff team, but you're right in there with it. And then you trade away your best player. It's interesting aspect, you know.
Let's talk about the Spurs here with Wemby.
Yeah,
Doesn't help them that the Celtics just won against them today.
yeah. No, the Celtics, got the W today. Wemby's another one of those. He certainly could have been on the Rising Stars team, I suppose, but he'll be on the global team, I believe. But great player,
Wasn't he
right?
from France, I believe?
I believe he is. Yeah. For a big, he's good. He's skilled. He's going to be a player, as long as he can keep his health under him, keep his legs under him. He'll be a force in the league for a while. If the Spurs can kind of get some pieces to surround him with, I think they'll be in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
Be in great shape. So it'll be fun. Going down the stretch here. We'll see how it goes. Can Boston catch Cleveland, take that number 1 seed?
Hopefully.
Certainly possible. 5.5 game with 2 months to go in the season. They certainly can catch them, right? So it'll be fun. We'll see if my Bulls can hang on to that final play-in spot there at number 10.
The 76ers are right behind them.
They are, so can't
And
lose too many more.
And the Sixers have the lead against you in games.
They do. So, we're right on that bubble. So we'll see if we can sneak in. Maybe we can win a play-in game, and you guys will take the number 1 seed, and we'll have a first-round matchup against you guys.
You guys actually have to win 2 play-in games.
Yeah.
You got to win versus whoever the 9th seed was.
Yep.
And then you got to win against the loser of the 8th and 7th seed.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Hopefully we can do it. It'll be fun to play Boston in the playoffs. So maybe if it happens, we could catch a game up in Chicago again. So we'll see. But kind of concludes today's episode here, Bryson. The NBA. We'll cover more as things kind of progress, and we'll excited to watch the All-Star weekend. And we'll have a recap for you guys. Let you know what we liked, disliked about kind of the new format, right?
Go Team Shaq.
Go Team Shaq, the OGs.
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
The Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
And
well,
as
thanks
always,
Go Pack, go.